Welcome to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered, where we're talking about cotton today.
No,
we're not.
We're not talking about cotton.
Introduce yourself. I'm DeAndre.
Introduce yourself. Whoa.
It's Nick.
Whoa. Introduce yourself. It's the biggest and the realest and the trillest. Yeah, it's Big Mama. Hi.
I had a question. How you call yourself Big Mama? She don't like to date big dudes.
What?
I just not thought of that.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Why you want to start the show?
I just not thought of that.
I
Go.
just got a request. They say, can people call in?
Yes.
Who is the request from?
Tika.
She can call in if she'd like. I mean, Angel, are you gonna tell the people who you are?
Yeah, hey everybody, it's Angel.
We got one more person.
Oh, hashtag
Today is a good day.
YWBL.
That's what? What is that?
I'm trying something now. Y'all need to figure it out. I need a name.
A name for what?
I just wanted a name.
Okay. The future is women. Can you explain your shirt?
That says female.
Man.
Whatever.
You can't read.
It's hiding under her boobs. We can't see it. So just, yeah.
Oh, God.
She got a shirt on. Can you explain? Is this a brand?
It is not a brand. It's just a shirt that you buy.
You got it from a church? You supporting a church?
No. What the church got to do with the future being female?
Maybe it's a church mother shirt.
It's a church mother shirt?
Yeah, maybe she came up with a brand and you supporting.
Wow. First of all, I don't even know where I got this shirt. That's first. It could have been from anywhere. Two,
Did you get it at the Roe v.
there's
Wade
more
protest?
women. There's more women in the world than there are men.
Joke. Too soon?
That's first of all. It's
I
definitely too
just went
soon.
to a protest. I get a little nervous with those protests, though. I'd rather just feel how I feel.
So you ain't supporting the cause?
Oh, I'm gonna support the cause. but
Being
I
like,
don't
yeah,
know
baby,
about
go
protests.
ahead. You march.
Would you have lasted back in the day?
No.
Absolutely
I'd have been
not.
lynched.
Black Panther?
I would have been lynched.
Time out.
God knew what he was doing.
He knew what
God
he
knew
was
what he was
doing.
doing.
That's how me and Big Mama, I'd have better been that mother.
I'd have
That would
been
have been taking that
lynched.
cotton.
Yes.
And being in there like off a color.
I would have been a sellout. Come on, master, just have your way with me.
You'd been like
'cause
off of
God.
whatever
Django.
we got to do.
You been Samuel
I ain't
Jackson.
doing it. I ain't picking cotton.
She'd been Samuel Jackson on
listen.
The
Django.
Listen.
I've never seen that movie.
He going to this big house,
It's
man.
pretty good.
He said, who is that
Or
on that
12 Years a
leg?
Slave.
I ain't watching 12 Years. I have to be in the mood
Or Harriet.
to watch.
Hey, it's not that bad.
Listen, she said, I like the song on that song.
I love the
I've
song
been
on there.
walking.
That what's his name feels so proud to be
I
black.
do. I'll be in there
I
like,
love that song.
That's how I feel about Beyonce's new song. It had to grow on me at first because I'm like, what is this?
what she say?
I like that song.
Beyonce?
But
What the-
Beyonce's newest song,
Break my
You
soul.
will
That
break
break-
my soul.
when it first came
You
out,
will-
I'm like,
Leave your nigga. Leave
was
the
you
stress.
doing?
Fuck the bitches.
Oh,
and
oh,
fuck
God.
the rest.
Okay.
I
for
was in
real,
it. She
it
said
took
that
me a
first?
while. No, she should have.
I'm about to say, I don't
She
remember
said
that
the
part.
first two parts.
Give us a-
Leave your nigga, leave the stress. But it's not her saying it. It's Big Frida.
Who is Big Frida?
He's like a famous like
okay.
transgender guy from New
Yeah.
Orleans. He like drag. and
We
stuff
don't
like
gonna play with you all.
Oh.
that. He was on her Formation, the beginning of Formation talking.
Leave the niggas, leave the stress.
It is some other stuff.
Okay.
Quit your job.
Quit your job.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
Not that.
Oh. I didn't know if that was a part of
You
it.
hit the note.
He said, leave your nigga,
Why?
leave the stress,
Why leave
free
him?
the real, and keep the rest.
Why the dude got to be the stress?
Yeah.
I don't think she said that.
He's not saying that the nigga is the
They
stress. He's
weren't.
saying leaving whatever is stressing you. It just happened.
Oh, I thought she was connected to dude with the stress.
No, but they do be saying, leave the something, leave your job, quit your, like that.
I don't think
Anything
I
that's
don't-
stressful.
I don't
It's
think
a
everybody. I don't think
generalization.
everybody needs to be
Anything
quitting
that's
their job.
stressful.
It was a generalization.
Yeah, like
Anything
let
that
the stress
could
No
go.
matter
be.
who it is.
It didn't matter who
whatever
it
it
is.
is, filling that blank. Yeah, it took me a while though.
be your
'cause I
kids.
was
Leave
just
the
like, what
kids.
is this? You know, it looks like a little techno
Wait,
disco
leave the
type
kids?
of thing.
Leave the kids.
Sometimes
kids
kids
stress
be
y'all
holding y'all that back.
Oh, wow.
Especially when you get an adult. You got them adult kids that be holding them back.
I
I
ain't there
keep trying
yet.
to
So I
tell
don't
my
know.
grandma, let her daughter go. She couldn't grow.
Your grandma. You talking about your mama?
No, not my mama, my other auntie. She need to let her go.
Oh man, that's
Wow.
it's a bit
Leave
much.
the kids.
Leave the stress.
Leave them alone.
You were stressing me out earlier.
One
You
fish,
stressing
blue
me out,
fish.
too. It's all right.
You were. And then I thought you stole my remote.
And you never apologized.
I did apologize.
You didn't. You said I didn't.
I apologized. Even though I did, I apologized for accusing you. I thought that you had stolen the remote and it was really Shamar who was sitting on
Cheers
it.
to better days.
Although it was my fault for putting it over there. I thought you took it and put it in your purse because your daughter lost your remote at your house and you were trying to take mine to replace it. So I was holding you accountable. Which brings us to our topic today.
Which is
What happens, or why is it that we oftentimes are held accountable for other people's actions?
You might need to elaborate.
I
on
oh,
that.
I got you. I get in trouble all the time.
Now this could
But it's
be
stuff my siblings
this could
do.
be in business, this could be siblings, this could be partnership, this could be relationship, this could be a fake relationship that's maybe made up in someone's head. But when people do certain things, but then they treat you like you were the one that did it, and then they hold you accountable like they were the victims, and it was like, yo, you did this to me.
Some reverse psychology type.
Why am I dealing with the repercussions of something you did? Why does that happen? And it tends to happen a lot from, unfortunately, the female species does this a lot. I know you guys are wired a lot differently,
I am sick
and
of
that's
this
cool,
here.
right? We're really logical, right? But when we're held accountable for your actions, your words, and the things that you do, but let's generalize it first. Let's not go straight to the women. I know we just talked about Roe v. Wade, but let's go away from that for a moment. Let's talk about friendships, relationships. Why is it that oftentimes when you do stuff,
It's the,
you hold the other person accountable for something you did or said?
it's the seed. Where did it start? It's usually the seed. So like,
Can you elaborate? Because that don't make
so,
sense
like-
right now.
okay, so it do. It'd be the seed. It'd be the seed. Okay. Listen. So, I was 19. I was out the house. I was not being disrespectful because I was out the house. I went and I got my belly button pierced. Right. So belly button is pierced. Then I end up getting a tattoo.
Okay.
So I got the tattoo, right? Then years later, my sister decided to get a tattoo. My mother blamed me. She said because I started it.
Because your sister got
Because my sister got it. And then the fact that my little brothers want them.
so you're being held accountable for somebody
all of their
else's
stuff.
actions
Yup, all of them.
because you were the leader of
Because
the pack.
I was the one who got my belly button pierced first.
How does that make you feel?
It is what it is.
No, that's not true. How does it make you feel?
Okay, so it prevents me, sometimes it prevents me from going to get more.
Okay.
Even though the seal is broken.
Does it make you feel any type of way towards your mom?
No, it's my mama.
What does that mean?
It's my mama.
No, that's like such a cliche black thing to say. It's my mom, so whatever, it is what it is.
I'ma
How
still
does it-
love her.
So, yeah, we ain't saying you go, but how does it make you feel though? If you're being held accountable and they're looking at you in such a way like they're doing all of this because of you, like how does it make you feel?
I just
Or have you never thought about it?
no. I thought about it. At first, it made me upset,
Okay.
but then over the years, it's just my mama. She gonna blame me for it. So
So you just take it on the chin, like whatever.
correct. Cause my dad will do it too. You know, I'll be like, "Oh, you was the one who used to always take the backs off of the remote."
What?
And so they like that's why your brothers and your sister they don't put the backs on the remotes, and I have batteries everywhere.
So was it you that stole my remote and put it on?
He has a problem. You got a problem here. You found the remote.
Yeah.
You have the
just saying.
remote. It was the back of the remote.
Okay. I got you.
You know. I guess
Anybody
we
else?
started it.
Come on. I know we got something. Angel. Have you ever held anybody accountable for your actions?
I'm really trying to think. I mean,
Tell us why you're single. Is it because you held somebody accountable for your actions?
in what way? I guess
Every way.
I don't.
Did you do things or say things to provoke certain situations and
Are you saying
then
like why did my
That's
last
stupid stuff.
relationship end? Or
Sure.
last somebody who I was talking to, why did it end?
let's do it this way, right? What role did you play? Everybody. What role did you
But that's
play?
not about holding
in-
somebody accountable. That's a separate.
It could be.
question.
You could do something and then be like, here's a famous, you made me do this.
Oh yeah.
You made me. Well, that sounds like more of a male role where you're trying to throw this on
Correct.
women. I've heard it's very common that a man will go and say, well, I
We ain't
went
talking
out
about
and did
cheating,
this.
all right? We talking about
Nobody
anything.
said
It could be
cheating.
anything. You
Look
made
at
me
you
do this.
automatically.
You made me do this. Listen, it's just an example though. So like, what is it? Why are y'all tight-lipped now? All of y'all be having
I got
so much
something
to
to
say.
say.
Well,
But
this
she
is
got
the
to
Y'all
turn
sitting
her
here
talk.
all tight-lipped now and ain't got nothing to say.
Towards Angel, because I got another one. Because somebody used to tell me that if he was the remote control, I was the one pushing his buttons, which made him do what he do. So like I provoked him all the time,
Well, certain. Okay.
and
So
then
in
I
certain
had control of
situations-
his
That's not holding
remote.
somebody.
This is so I hold myself, and I think that I'm on the same page. I was trying to collect some information, know where I was going to go.
To
with this.
understand the question properly.
I hold myself. Everything that goes on in my life, I like to hold myself responsible for it. Anything outside of being sick and anything, I give myself the responsibility of my life being wrong, to hold myself and give myself the control to turn my life around. I feel like when people put the blame on other people, you give somebody else control of your life, and that means that you can't turn it around. So if I live my life by only saying this happened because of somebody else or this happened because of somebody else, you giving somebody else the power to say your life is going to be bad, opposed to saying, you know what, I did this and I accept it and I can turn it around because I can control me. That's just how I live.
And
my
even
personal
taking it a
life.
step further, like in what he was saying, like just because if Sayo say I act some type of way now because of the way you did, that's on you. I'm not about to feel some type of way because you took my actions and ran with it that way. So that's why when you said that, like I was more so just taken back in a sense, because I'm a firm believer that my stuff is my stuff and your stuff is your stuff. And I'm not about to let a you problem be a me problem. So I'm not holding me accountable for nothing you done did. That's all on you. And like not in a rude way, but like honestly, we have enough issues and baggage and everything else like that come just with our own daily basis.
Right.
Shame on me if I'm about to take your stuff too and hold my. Absolutely not.
Well, it's not so much about taking somebody else's stuff. It's more so of
It is if I'm gonna say that I'm gonna let your actions help. Like I'm gonna feel accountable for something you did to a certain extent. Like
Because
you know
it
what I
goes
mean?
because it actually
can go
trickles into
both
the
ways.
future. It goes into the future
Absolutely.
too. So now I'm gonna be cautious every time I do something because I don't know how you gonna react. That's a whole narcissist. Even
yeah, but it's different. I think y'all ain't catching it. Okay, so
then explain your
because I get what y'all saying. I'm in agreement with that. But it's more so if someone did so. Imagine somebody doing
Give us a
something.
scenario.
give me an
you
example.
give us a scenario.
Okay, let's see. Here's one. I once received silent treatment from someone. That was absolutely ridiculous, treacherous, and it admitted to being wrong in the situation. Was wrong in the situation, admitted she was wrong in the situation, but I'm the one that received the silent treatment. I was confused.
Why did you get the silent treatment?
I have no clue why I got the silent treatment, but I didn't do anything. That joker did something, but I
We
got
need
the
more
silent
details.
treatment.
We need
You don't
more
need more
details.
details. That is, I wasn't being held accountable for that
I think we
person's
need more
actions.
details because I feel like there needs to be more details.
Like what?
because-
Why do you need more details?
Because first of
when
all,
you get the point, the point is
no, I don't get the point
you
because
do.
we need to know what you did in the scenario.
No, nothing.
And whoever
No,
that other
nothing.
person was.
I
in
brought
the
things to
scenario.
light. Like, yo,
Was
no,
it female
here's
and
what it was.
male? Was it male and male? I want to
You
know.
heard me say female. Why would I say
Okay,
male?
so it was a
Yeah,
female.
Pay
So
attention to the story, man.
That's
Pay attention.
okay. So now that we know that it was female, right?
Okay, we already knew that.
Okay, so now that we know there's female, what was the conversation first? Like, are we talking
don't
like
need the
leaving the top
conversation.
off of the toothpaste type stuff, or like?
First
Full
off,
blood.
you ain't gonna get me. I told you.
You ain't gonna get me.
You're not gonna get me. Person was wrong.
What is the letter?
Basically,
the first name start with.
X.
a letter in the alphabet. So, so,
Meaning she ain't there no more.
so, said person, right? Let's just say me, who stands firm on boundaries, standards, and all that. Like, yo, I'm not putting up this with anything because you do or have said or act out a certain kind of way. You do X, Y, and Z, right, wrong, or indifferent. Like you in this case, very much wrong. said person admits to being wrong, but instead of me giving the silent treatment, I got the silent treatment.
Did she admit that she was wrong afterwards? Or she admitted she was wrong and give you a silent treatment?
Can I say something?
Sounds like
I ain't got a silent treatment bone in my body. I ain't even. Let me tell y'all.
And even if it wasn't silent treatment, right? It could be a case of maybe. So you know how sometimes if something happens to you, you begin to shift gears, right? And you're like, I'm just gonna move different because of X, Y, and Z, right? Imagine being a person who's doing the wrong, and that person is the one that shifts gears.
it sounds like
It
you
moves
felt
the wrong way
undeserving.
still.
It sounds like you
I heard
felt like
situations like
undeserving.
that.
What?
I heard situations like that. Like, let's say, because I watched a movie one time, and it was actually, I think y'all might, Sex in the City. I don't know if it was the first one or the second one. The one where the husband, he cheated on his wife, but then he explained to her, I cheated on you because you wasn't giving me X amount of time and this and that and this and that. So I guess he was putting accountability on her for what he did.
That happened to me.
Essentially.
That happened to me before.
But I mean, what I'm saying is he cheated. He felt bad about it. But the reaction of him cheating was because she wasn't spending enough time. Is that kind of similar to?
Kind of, sort of. So imagine the guy cheating, right?
Yeah, let's
and beyond all that, imagine him holding her accountable as if she was the one that went out and cheated, though. Like maybe he begins to say, "Give me your phone." He's the paranoid one.
Oh yeah.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, that happened
that's
to me.
impossible.
Yeah.
Because
So like instead of her being the one who's doing it now, he's the one that's like, "Give me your phone. Where you going? Where you been? What are you doing?" And she like, "Joker, you the one cheated on me. Why am I being held accountable for your actions?"
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm referring to.
Well, that happened to me too. Because I got cheated on. He blamed me.
He held you accountable for.
Yeah, he was just like,
for
I should be asking you. You the one cheating. I say, well, shoot, hot
It was
dog.
like he was projecting his like actions
Guiltiness.
on me. It was a
That guilty
conscience.
conscience.
Yes.
So
is
it
what
was like
is.
everything I was getting blamed for, he was actually doing.
So do y'all think that people in situations could push you to an action?
Absolutely.
No.
I feel like, oh, wait. Being the other person, I'm sorry, no. I
Look, I'm
understood
ready.
that
Look,
wrong.
I was like, I'm
I
ready for
understood
this.
the question wrong.
Look,
So
My bad. I already was
y'all-
distracted.
Y'all don't think
for
that a
second.
person can push you into making an action or making a decision?
Nobody can push you to do anything. They
It's
do
still your
want.
choice.
You make a
At the end
choice.
of the day,
You
you
make a
wanted
choice.
to do that.
if Jesus
It's
Christ
always a
can't make you
choice.
make a decision, then can't
They
nobody
may have
else make your
possibly
decision.
influenced it, but pushing you to do that's you. Like
No one
you
would agree.
ultimately made that decision.
I would agree you made the decision, but I do think that there's strong things that influence people to make decisions.
You always have a choice, though, to do the right thing.
absolutely.
Yes.
And so that's
Jesus
what I always
Christ
just
can't
remind
make you do
people.
something.
Absolutely.
I always,
But I heard situations where I don't agree, but I understand.
In what way? How could you understand?
I heard a situation where a woman was taking care of a man that was overweight, and she didn't want to leave him to break his heart, but she still needed to satisfy herself because he couldn't satisfy her. So instead of leaving him, because she was actually like his caretaker, she would leave and go satisfy herself in the manner of cheating and come back and take care of this gentleman.
It sounds
How
like
do
it's
you
an
understand that,
arrangement.
though?
It sounds like an arrangement.
I understand
to
it
me.
because, like I said, I don't agree with it, but I understand if this man can't satisfy you and you love him,
Leave.
Then leave
Yeah.
and say, listen, you can't satisfy me and I can't hurt you, but I will still be more
Like I
than willing
said,
to help take care of you.
Not even that.
that sounds
There's,
like
there's
somebody-
jobs and occupations that hire people
But
to
I'm
do
saying
just
if
that.
you wanted to still take care of him, because it seemed like, shoot, she could have just left and been done all the way.
and no, I mean, like I said, I disagree. I don't like cheating, but I just feel like the older I got,
Talking out the side of
sometimes
your neck.
I hear situations that I'm like, I can see why you made your decision. I don't agree with it, but I can understand why you made it.
Like, so like, what if like the man was on life support, and that's her husband? Then she
You sitting
allowed
sorry
to,
for her to go
like-
get her rocks
if
off?
my man on
Yeah,
life support,
like,
I ain't
if
thinking
he
about
on life-
sex.
Yeah.
I am.
Tanisha, what you on?
My man is about to
I'm
die
just
any
saying, Yeah.
point in time you trying to
You
get
ain't even
laid?
What if they're
you
like
ain't
on life
even let
support
the
for a
life
long
insurance
time?
check clear yet.
Listen, what if they're
dang.
on? Listen, what if they're
You
what
gotta
if
be
they're
prepared
like
for the future.
dying?
Exactly.
give
And
you-
they
I ain't
on
gonna
there
touch
for
you.
like a year.
I give you a better one. I help
Like,
you
what
out.
if they, like,
what if he
they're
got
on a year?
paralyzed? Like we had this conversation. He got paralyzed and he can't use
From
himself.
the
Does their
neck
PP
down.
still get
No,
erect?
it's broke.
Sometimes
I don't know.
it depends.
And then you just
Do
sit
you
there
leave
one
him,
day
or
and
do
then
you
come
just
up, be like,
come
oh,
back
the nerves
and-
just working today, baby.
you
Just go.
leave him if you can't be faithful to him.
Because
If
what is the
you
point? Why are you
abs-
staying there? Like, there's no way that you're gonna eventually you're gonna leave him anyway. There's no way that a woman is
Even
gonna
after
be
like
What
10
about
years.
married and I'm
Even-
still cheating. Eventually, like
Even
she's
after
what
10 years
about
of
the
being
If
married,
insurance?
10,
you've been with
15,
him for 10 years and you
Yes.
can still love him the same, then by all means stay and make it work. You know what I mean? Some people can have that love and they are still completely happy and satisfied. And that's beautiful.
I tell my wife
You
to
know what I
leave.
mean? Because when they say through thick and thin, that sound good until it get real
Yeah.
thick that you can't stand. You
Or
know what
real
I mean?
thin.
or real thin.
Or real thick. Right, absolutely. So, you know, like
there's
you
no
just got to
medium
be
in
honest
that.
with yourself. And that's the
Thick or
biggest thing
thin.
that, you know, people
Thick and
forget
thin.
that part. You can't.
I do agree. I mean,
You
I
just
do
got to
agree.
be honest and loyal, not even just to yourself, like to yourself. Why do that? Don't let anybody make you a bad, because you're turning into a bad person. Don't ever let anybody have that much power to turn you into a cheater or somebody who's sneaking. I'm a grown woman. Why am I sneaking around?
Yeah, I do agree.
And then that's kind of, well, I guess in that situation.
I just
you
know
wouldn't
people that have been in situations for years, and it's like it's
Why do
just
you think they stay?
Complacency.
complacency,
They waiting on that showing
the
money.
law, you know,
That's what
every
I would-
this
That
is.
is true, though.
waiting
Some
on
people
that
are
show
waiting
us
on
money.
that.
I mean, this is what you knew. This is what you known. This is who you known for
But if
years.
you're not happy and you get that taste of happiness from somebody else, you know what I mean? It's one thing
I mean,
if
I
you
agree
stay
with
and
you.
you're not happy.
But I agree with you.
no,
But
no,
I
no.
don't. I think it's easier said than done.
It is.
So right, so that I'm truly just asking, if you are with somebody and you stay complacent, but you just not cheating and you just miserable, okay. But if you literally got a whole little side rendezvous where you are enjoying living your best life and having fun, why don't you just
Let them
leave
go.
and go and enjoy that rendezvous?
Yeah, just
moment?
go. Just go. Please leave.
Right? Why do you why do you even go back?
Because you taking time
If
away.
I had to guess, I'm not in that situation.
But maybe from people who you know. Or
The people that I
situations.
know, because I know several situations, like I said, it's easier to say. It's easier said than done to just say, "Let me lead this person."
No, it's not. Because at the end of the day, if you really value that person, and clearly you don't, and you realize that you're taking away their time, first of all, that they could have actually been searching to be with somebody else.
What if this
You know,
person is like somebody's
and-
lifeline? Like they pay for all
But
of
It
it.
even
don't-
outside
it
of
don't
that, though,
matter.
even like for you.
But what I'm saying, I'm just saying, there's situations. I didn't heard a lot of situations. I've seen it, and I thank God that I'm not in that situation to be there, to have to make that decision. But it's like in a perfect world, you know what I'm saying? It's easy. I'm just gonna leave and make myself happy. We all wish to be there, but it's like situations, kids, money, mortgages. People just like I don't want to. I don't know. I'd rather just stay in.
You rather stay sneaking, hope
Okay.
that you don't get caught.
Hold on. Okay, so
I'm not saying me. I'm just. I
No,
know
no,
people
I'm
that have
really
been
trying to
be
just,
married
that
for
is
20.
an honest to God
I know
question.
people that have been married for 20 years miserable, and it's just like maybe I'm happy at work. I'm happy out in the yard. How many? Let's all be.
But
we
I'm
all had
talking
that.
about
How many
people's-
granddads we know they got to go outside every single day in the
because
yard
they hate at
because
home. I'm talking about though people specifically who have a mistress. DeAndre, Nick, y'all leaving every day. You got. I'm using y'all as an example because y'all the guys
wife
here.
right there,
Okay,
wife right
you got your woman at home, and she doing whatever she do at home.
Single.
And for what? Shut up. And you leaving
I guess if
with,
I had to
with
answer-
somebody else. You know what I mean?
I had
And
to
you
answer
doing
the
this and
question.
coming back home, staying here, knowing that you didn't just had the time of your life with this lady, and you coming back home to a bump on the log. Why wouldn't you leave the bump on the log if you're having so much
Well,
more
technically they do. They just come back to it.
and some people don't want they don't want to lose their reputation.
yeah, somebody don't
A
want
lot
to
of
lose.
people don't
Yeah.
want to use their reputation.
People don't want to be known as that person. Like I said, you might be coming. Listen, I know a dude right now that's like he hates his wife, but his wife make the money and pay the bills. He leave his.
What's his name?
He, he ain't gonna listen to his podcast, so
No,
it's like,
don't.
no. It's like, nah.
Don't you?
But I know a dude, he hates his wife, and but his wife make 6 figures plus. She pays the mortgage and everything, and
You
it's
better
like
shut up.
Right.
exactly that's what I'm
What's
saying.
he
So
doing?
I mean,
It
he
sound
got
like
an
he ain't
income,
tryna-
but it ain't with his wife's.
He ain't trying to better his own self.
No, I mean he got his own business. He ain't trying to better himself. I would agree.
Sometimes you just gotta want more for yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Make that decision.
Especially when you
how long
think
have you been
about,
married?
20, 30 years.
especially when
That's
you
an
think
older
about
gentleman.
like diseases and stuff. So now
Where did that come from?
I mean,
you already know where it came from.
I seen a commercial. You can take a pill now for almost anything.
You going
Where
out
did
doing
that
your
come
being
from?
promiscuous, and then you gonna bring it back to your
It's
wife,
not
and she has
promiscuous.
no
A mistress,
idea.
you've been active
Okay,
with
mistress.
this
I
one
mean,
person,
your
so-
mistress. You with your mistress, and then you
That's
come
what
back
she said,
home,
mistress.
and you bring it. You bring whatever you done with your mistress.
But a mistress ain't supposed to be messing around.
Right.
The mistresses don't be clean. That's why
The mistress
that's why
don't
she
be
mistress
clean.
now.
How
They
y'all
might
know?
be 6'4" and 400 pounds. You never know.
Wait, what?
Ain't nobody making that. Ain't nobody cheating on something good for something trash. I don't tell you that.
Oh no.
Now, why they gotta be trash? Because they 6'4", 400 pounds.
I know y'all seen my 1,000-pound or 600-pound life.
But 6'4", they
Them be
ain't
some
that
big girl.
big. 6'4"
They was,
and 400
but they
pounds?
was.
Is that really
Thank you.
that
But they
big?
yes,
was.
you the
But
thing
they
as hell,
was.
and I stopped cussing.
It's
Hell
not-
ain't a cuss word.
What is it? A destination?
It's an adjective.
No, some people do cheat with people like
So
that.
if she came down and said, "Mama, what the hell
And
we
they do.
doing?" I say, well, that's just an adjective.
And they do.
Like, come here.
Would you stay in a situation like that?
No. Wait, in what kind of situation?
The scenario you presented.
Well, no. See, I'm gonna just leave if I start to feel myself drifting and feeling unhappy. If we're married, that's different. If we're married and I start to drift and feel that type of way, I'm going to have that unpleasant conversation and let you know. Listen, we need to find a way to spice this up or something because I have those raw, nasty conversations that people don't like, which could be happening. The reason I'm single now, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna tell you the attraction's not there. I'm feeling some type of way. You know what I mean? And somebody else caught my attention. No, I did not act on this, but there's something going on with us that I'm even, you know what I mean, feeling this type of way. I'm
entertaining it.
Right, absolutely. So can we do
But y'all,
another
they say-
date
they
night?
say
Can we do
entertaining is
something? You know
cheating.
what I mean?
So how do you get that far though?
They say
How do
So
entertainment.
you
where
cheat?
someone
It is.
catches
For a
your
woman.
attention if you're married
It's
though?
easy because just
Why would you allow yourself to
let
do
me
that?
tell you, because I feel like whether you're married, single, or in a relationship, you still gonna be exposed and around the same people. So if you don't
So
have
why don't you
somebody
get rid of
else,
those people?
Rid of
What you
what
gonna
people?
do?
The ones that's in
Live
your
in a
back
house?
pocket that y'all be
no,
keeping.
not in the
That
back.
y'all be keeping?
No, y'all women.
Y'all women? Because I know there's. I know all
Here
pants
comes
come
the
with pockets
deflection.
in the back.
Here
Some of
comes the
them,
deflection.
especially when you wear jeans.
I wear sweats.
Here comes the deflection.
I got a pair of sweats.
You know what? You're right. At least we got pockets.
Not mine.
Y'all wear stuff that don't got pockets, so y'all keep them in y'all pants.
Oh my!
I feel like you just call all women a hoe.
Not all, just
You most of us. Most of us.
I'm not a cheater.
And to be honest with you, let's talk about this.
no. Wait, Kanisha, wait, no. Kanisha,
If the
I need you to
man,
answer a straight
if
question
the
without deflecting
man,
back to
and
the
that's
man.
what-
Just answer the question.
no, because
How
you
about
come
that?
at me with female,
Just
so I'm about to
answer
come
the
back with you
question.
with male.
and I'll answer it as soon as you answer the question.
Another man won't have any of her attention if you were doing what you're supposed to do to keep her
That's
attention.
trash right there.
But
That's not true.
sometimes though,
trash.
Sometimes,
it just be a charming
if-
guy, and you gotta
yes.
check yourself
Like a
because
and you do,
you know what I mean. Because
if Chocolate City come
sometimes
around with one of them lines. Sayo and Angel witnessed it on Saturday
at the
No, we
birthday
didn't.
party,
with Bobby
at the birthday party.
and
Bobby.
Peanut Butter.
Why are you, who the heck
y'all,
is
where
peanut
was y'all
butter?
at?
I don't know your friend.
Her name ain't peanut butter.
Whatever.
What's her name?
I'm disguising.
Butter.
I'm disguising the name. Dang it.
That's my homie.
Where was she? Did you say it?
Somebody.
I dropped names,
yeah,
so
you did.
don't get me close.
Somebody called Sayo's phone. Her phone was ringing, and I answered it. I was clowning around, but they was. I mean, I'm just saying. So what if you get somebody like that, and you're
was 100%
completely
single.
and you're complete? No, what I'm saying, in y'all situation, right?
Let me tell you something.
What if in that situation y'all
Right.
married,
And somebody got on the phone to entertain and drop
whether it was
those.
phone or in person, and a charming guy came with one of those, and now you sitting there all smitten, like even though you got a guy at home that's doing that too.
It is extremely important that at that moment you put him in his place accordingly. It is very important where that was super sweet, but you know what? I got a man who says and tells
Ground
me those
yourself.
things. You know what I mean?
Ground
Because
yourself,
not
yeah.
even just in something for him. Shoot, You got to do that for yourself. You got to speak that and remind yourself, girl, don't you fall in for that. You got a man at home who do the same thing. You know what I mean? So not in a rude way. Like I always feel like females do not have to be rude. Like, don't be doing like,
It's gonna be uninviting.
It don't have to.
Right.
There's gotta be uninvited.
Very uninviting.
So I watched it. Oh, are you done? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I watched his interview the day before yesterday. It was Funny Marco and Jada Wada. And
Who?
whatever.
Sound like something off of a Nickelodeon show.
Well,
like
the listeners are
Piggly or
gonna
something.
the listeners are gonna know who I'm talking about. But it was them too. And the interview, it was like it was a joke, but it was set up to be one of the worst interviews. Anyway, so he asked her, like, how good is your curve game? And she was like, my curve game is pretty good. So he was like, I'm going to give you a scenario. You tell me how you would curve. So he talking to her all smooth. And she's like, he was like, hey, how you doing? She's like, hi, how are you? And he's like, I'm good, blah, blah, blah. Like, you got a man? I have a boyfriend. And then he kept talking to her, but she kept talking too. So he asked her, yes. And that, at the end of the day, that's what it was about, because he asked her something else, but she kept talking and made herself have to say to him again, I have a boyfriend. He was like, your curve game trash. She was like, what do you mean? He said, you told me you had a boyfriend once. Why are you still talking to me? Right. And I made you say that you have a boyfriend again. But you see how guys like will take that little bit of attention, because look at how you just engaging. You wasn't flirting with me. You wasn't smiling. And she wasn't. Like, her demeanor wasn't inviting per se.
Can I tell y'all something?
I'm not done. But her conversation.
Can I tell y'all something?
No, but her conversation, because she kept giving it to him, he kept talking. So he was just pretty much telling her, like, yeah, your curve game trash. Like, us dudes, it takes something like that and we got you, and you don't even know it. And I was like, but her,
I'm trying to tell her she's talking too much.
Because you leave me alone. But her defense was, I'm not mean or nothing like that. Like, I'm never just gonna dog a dude. But it's funny because, like, that was always like my excuse. Well, not even an excuse. That was my reason. Like, I'm not just gonna be like a bitch and be like what you want, nigga? Like, none of that. Cause like, that's not my character. But I understood it from both sides, and it made a lot of sense. Like, when he said it was like you don't gotta be like that, but even you giving me this little bit of conversation to the point you had to tell me you had a boyfriend twice. Us dudes, it takes something like that. Yeah, like,
we still
I got it. Yeah, and it was so crazy to me. You can say something, Nick.
Let me give you a little secret. Every female that's listening here, I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. Everybody bring it in. Most men don't care that y'all have a boyfriend.
That's facts.
You know.
And let me tell you another secret.
That's your boyfriend.
Let me tell you another secret. Yes. Let me tell you another secret. Bring it in, camera.
Okay.
Unless I know your dude,
y'all still don't care
if you have a boyfriend or a husband.
And
now,
even if they do know the dude, they still don't care.
But because you say I have a boyfriend, that goes in one ear and out the other. Yeah. Unless I know him, I don't care. Yeah. So that's nothing that's gonna stop me.
And I honestly feel like unless you know him and you feel like he could beat you, to be honest, which sounds terrible, but
I don't care.
Can't nobody beat a bullet. He ain't fighting no more.
Yeah.
Very true.
I mean, ain't nobody fighting no more. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's true.
Who?
But that's how you know what I mean? Like, I'm just being real. People don't care about
because ain't nobody fighting no more.
People don't care though that they know you. They don't care if you was homies. It's like, oh, y'all ain't talking no more.
Like that. Women think that I got a boyfriend. That's the whole stop sign. It's not. That's the. Do I know him? No.
The stop sign is when you
that's the slow down. No. That's the slow down.
The fact that you're still in his presence says a lot to that man.
I mean, you don't
and that man, and if you end up cheating with that man will never take you serious, because if you up in his face at this point in time, then you gonna be up in somebody else's face.
So the moral of the story is don't be rude, but when you stop, you say yeah, absolutely, and be done with it.
Actually, that's another secret that people need to know. If you are willing to cheat with your boyfriend, you will never be taken serious, and vice versa. Men,
I don't know though, because most of men end up being with the women that they cheated on their girl with.
But he ain't really with you. He ain't respecting you.
A lot of times, that's not
Trust
true.
Me, from the outside looking in, that man don't respect you.
They turn around and marry him, wife him, diaper him, and everything else. Yup.
Yeah, but how many marriages is respectable? We just looking at because y'all married. That means that he respects you.
I'm just saying though. You know what I mean?
Like, if you look at it from the inside out versus the outside in, they're not healthy relationships. Though.
How can I respect you that you cheated on your husband with me? Now, when I marry you, gonna cheat on me with another dude.
It's gonna be issues.
I'm not disagreeing with anything. All I'm saying though is people say that, but a lot of times.
Go ahead.
What'd you say?
No, I'm just saying, cat come around 1 inch and you ready to rock and roll.
Not an inch.
Maybe a half of one.
It has to be more.
So y'all wouldn't stay?
That's
Stay
all.
in what?
Would you stay with a guy if that was the case?
Stay
Oh no
with
no
a
no
guy
no,
in
no
what?
no. Let me rephrase this. Would
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
expect?
Gotta say some other
Would
shit.
you expect your man to stay with you or be cool if you guys were in somebody else's face, either regularly or just even one time? Would you expect him to understand because you told said guy, "I got a man"?
And I left
Is
it
that
at that.
considered
No.
her being
You
in his face?
Yes.
Because he walked up in her face.
Does that matter? And you got 2 feet as well, so you can clearly walk away or turn around.
Check me if I did something like
Right.
that.
You better not
Just
leave me
tell
break
me.
up.
For real.
Yeah.
Correct.
That
Just
ain't
check
a
me
break
out.
up a bowl.
That-
I
not a
didn't say.
breakup,
I'm just
but
saying, not break up.
definitely
Would you
check me.
Tell
expect
me.
him to be cool with it? Is
No,
what
no,
I'm saying.
no.
Not at all.
No,
Check me.
no,
That's what I
no.
mean. That whole.
Because I'm not
shit.
gonna be cool, so I definitely wouldn't expect
Right,
you to
'cause
be-
if the shoe
but
was
you
on
be-
the other
like,
foot,
that's not
I'll
a
be
break
ready
up
to
a
fight.
offense for me.
We need to have a conversation.
Be understanding, but say something.
You told her you had a girlfriend, so you had to sit over there for 20 minutes to tell her that?
No.
That took you 5 seconds. What you
Correct.
still over there talking to her for? I looked at
Ma'am.
you stood over there for 18 minutes, smiling the key, and
I'm gonna be honest
all
with you.
this other stuff.
I'm a-
It didn't
I
take
am
you
a-
that long.
I'm a business owner, so sometimes I got to talk to these females to kind of like,
Find a husband.
what if they the owners?
I don't know. You
Cut the
gotta sign
grass. Take the money.
What if they single?
Cut the
Well,
grass.
majority of my clients is females.
Say you got to talk to
Cut
my
the
wife.
grass.
then.
Take the money.
90% of my clients are females.
To be
Well, of course,
honest,
'cause they don't
that's-
wanna cut grass.
No, all jokes aside, though, that's why it's important though for you to just be solid in how you handle yourself.
Let me tell you something. I gotta watch carefully.
Andre.
Like all jokes aside, 90% of my clients are single females because they don't have nobody to cut their grass.
Come to that
Right, and
glass.
look
at
Come to
DeAndre,
that
you
screen
know what I
door
mean?
and that moo.
And I'm not trying to be funny. No,
What
I
did
have
DeAndre
clients.
have to do with
I have
anything?
clients that really. I
He's
tell
talking
my
about
wife.
single women. What did I got to do with me?
You know how many times I had one of my oldest clients. Do something with my daughter.
You
I'm
got
sorry,
your
I'm
own
married.
business. That's something.
Do something with her.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no,
Because
yeah.
people be trying to hook folks up. You know, hey, I
I
got
had
a
a lady just
daughter.
tell me that, like, you're so nice. Can you do something with my daughter? I'm like, I'm married.
Do something.
Do something. What
What do
is
you
this?
want me to do, Miss Girl?
You got to talk. I say you got to talk to my wife.
Miss Shirley, what do I want me to do?
You got to talk to my wife. She down with that.
They be coming out. They be coming down there when they
Barbara,
moo. That's
this
what
is
I know.
Shirley.
That happened before too.
I know. They
That
be
happened to
like,
my dad actually. That never happened to me.
they're like, come here, baby. I just need you to. Can you fix the sink real quick?
I don't go in the house now. I'm dirty. They be like, I don't care. I'm filthy.
All right, look.
I just stepped in.
I got another question for y'all. Here's another question.
Make it spicy.
What happens when the heart and your mind are in a fight?
Heart and mind. Which one is physical?
Did
What?
you get
Heart and mind.
here?
Which one's physical?
What happens when your heart wants to do something that your
Like, my
mind
mind is
doesn't
telling me
want
no,
to,
but my
or
body
vice
telling me
versa?
yes?
Yeah, it could be on the R. Kelly
with
type
your
joint, but
mind.
still. But what if they're in a tug of war? Which one?
I tried
Typically,
nothing.
typically the mind wins most
The
of the time,
mind is-
right?
No.
No, the heart usually wins.
Typically, the heart wins. The mind should be
Maybe
the
for
one.
women.
Yes.
Yes, it's the mind that's
The
telling
heart
you.
maybe
The
for
mind
women.
say,
For
girl,
women.
leave him. And, you
And my
like,
heart be like, I love him.
But that's because women act out of love and we act out of respect.
Right. So what? So what happens in that case? Like, can y'all break this down?
Our heart usually
Listen,
wins.
this is
smarten up.
this is an episode we trying to help the people out. Let's give some examples here.
I never been in that type of example, so I'm gonna need y'all
Kanisha?
to take the. Why you put her out like that?
God dang.
Kanisha,
Dang.
what happens when the heart is in a fight with the mind, and you don't know which way to go? What?
I stay still. Usually, if my
That's where the
mind,
peace lies.
I'm gonna be honest. If my mind and my dang, this is bad. That's gonna sound so bad.
Say it
it's
anyways.
okay.
If
It's
there's
okay.
a guy, if there's gonna be a guy in my mind and my heart is in super de-duper battle, I text somebody else.
Like another person?
Correct.
Wait.
a
As
side
in
nigga?
another man?
Like a side nigga? Oh, you ain't shit, friend.
Wait, first of all,
I didn't
I'm
expect
single.
us to go this way.
No. This is important for the people to hear this.
Oh God.
We gotta,
definitely didn't see this coming.
We gotta know how these women moving out here nowadays.
Oh, man.
I'm single.
So some of our brothers can be getting
For-
texts
yes.
after she
Yes.
fighting with somebody else.
Yes.
Brothers.
Or
What?
she could be jumping on the meat stick after texting with somebody else that she in a battle or struggle with. You getting sympathy put.
I gotta learn how to text
So
people
listen.
back.
Oh,
That's not
God.
That's what happened when
So-
Shane passed.
I gotta learn how to
Why?
text people back.
Why do you text another man when you in a battle with another one?
Okay, so
Wait, no. Yeah, how does this help the situation?
okay. So listen, I feel like if I really am in a discrepancy with myself, and I can't pick what I wanted. I'm gonna throw something else in there to see now. Now, what would you choose?
So to further confuse yourself.
No, not further confuse myself, because I feel like the fact that I can actually text somebody else lets me know that you don't mean nothing to me anyways.
That is terrible. Because do you think about this individual after that?
No.
Did you text him the next day?
No. Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay, well then you are thinking about him.
But at the same time...
So that negates what you just said. You're contradicting yourself.
No.
You're making no sense.
I am.
No, you're not.
Sense.
You're making sense because your situation works for you right now, but it's still trash because you still thinking about the dude.
I throw somebody else in there sometimes.
To further complicate things.
No, not to further complicate things.
Yes.
No, you're going to let me say it out.
To further mess up your emotions.
No, I do that because in this
'Cause it's a
particular
safeguard.
realm, correct, at this particular time, I don't want, not right now, but this is in the past. I didn't want to be held down, and I didn't want my heart to be in anything.
Mm-hmm.
So because I didn't want my heart to be in anything, if I felt myself getting emotional, I just went to somebody else so that emotion would stop. Correct. It is definitely the same thing men do.
Negative, because we won't listen.
Don't say we. You might say you, but don't say we.
Because most guys aren't gonna catch feelings like that, anyways. Just because you're getting emotion, you catching feelings.
I caught a feeling.
You caught a feeling,
Correct.
and you're like, whoa,
and then
whoa.
they caught I caught a feeling. They teed me off. I caught a feeling. They teed me off.
Pissed her off.
And then because they teed me off, you know, I'm like, dang. And I'll be like, realizing like, yo, you just ain't even what you want. You don't even want this relationship.
Oh, so your pride and ego takes over.
No, I don't want a relationship.
Your pride and ego. You just said you teed me off, but this ain't really what you want.
It isn't what I want.
So your
I
pride
don't
and ego takes over.
I don't know. It's
What do you call
recognizing. It's recognizing where you are in this particular situation. If I'm not ready for a relationship, I'm not going to be in a relationship.
So you move to the bottom of the lineup.
So I go. Who's bottom of the lineup?
Yours.
No, I don't go to the bottom. I just go to whoever's next. Why I got to go to the bottom?
So you send him to the G League. And you pull somebody else from there.
Listen, whoever get the contract, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say.
Fellas, and there it is.
Listen,
okay?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Her stock, she's now $5 instead of $1. Sayo, situation that you've been in?
Dang. No, you ain't. No, first of all, you ain't going to make me sell me out for like no $2 hoe. That's first of all.
No.
Second of all, regardless, $5 either. You understand?
Is they still out there?
I'm just saying. No, because that's bad. It's at the end of the sentence, it's still a hoe. I don't want to be that. This was a particular like. Listen, this is not where I am now. First of all,
escorts.
And let's think about this too. Let's think about this. Let's talk about the whole scenario, Mister. At that point where I was like this, okay, I just came out of something,
right,
and so I knew it was bad for me to catch feelings because I wasn't ready. Now, I don't feel like there's anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with me wanting attention.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
And me knowing that I just want attention.
But why lead someone on?
Why I got to lead them on? It ain't lead them on. They just teed me off. Whatever energy they gave me, I gave them.
Sayo.
Correct. Same energy. You talking about a whole different situation. Yes, you is.
Sayo. So give us instance in which you've been in a position you just got to turn the whole stand. Give us an instance in which your heart and your mind has been in a tug of war, and tell us who won and why. Don't sound foolish like Kanisha.
I ain't foolish.
I'm not. Mine is just straight and simple.
Okay, let's hear it.
When I was in a relationship and I was, deep in and we had years involved, but there was plenty of times where my mind was telling me, Sayo, it's time to go, or Sayo, this is going on. What are you doing? But my heart was like, oh, I love him so bad. And then, for years and years, I just went with my heart because my mind wasn't strong enough. Then eventually, bye. But then anybody else, like after that,
So your mom won?
overall, yeah. But any like person after that, oh no, heart off. Ain't no heart involved.
Why?
I don't know. It kind of like.
It's the new improved hood.
Yeah, like that. And then it's like my tolerance, being that went through everything that I went through with that, I felt like there's nothing you could do to me or put me through that I hadn't already went to. So I had no tolerance for it. So it was like I laid it out flat to whoever, it was I was involving myself with. And you do with this what you will. But if you cross me or if you be foolish, I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. And that happened, in a situation. And it was one and done. Got a blast. And like I just act like I don't know you anymore.
Who do you think or what do you think should win? Heart or mind?
That's a hard question.
That's the easy one.
I don't know. I think it depends on the question. On the situation. I think sometimes I don't know because I've been in a situation where like my heart led me down destruction.
Lord help her, don't let her think that.
Shut up.
But your mom could overthink stuff too.
And that's what I'm saying. It depends on the situation because, like, I did allow sometimes my mind to let me overthink, and I'm thinking about stuff that never happened, and I'm pissing myself off because I'm like, well, you did this, so now this gonna lead to this, and it never happened. So I think that it depends on the situation, but I don't know.
Let me tell y'all.
Can I ask a question real quick? Can a red flag take you somewhere that maybe is not a red flag?
Absolutely.
Because it's like, if like you said, you've been through what you've been through. So now,
Absolutely.
I know when I haven't
Look at DeAndre.
I haven't been in a relationship in years. I've been in a relationship for years, so I don't know what it feels like not to be. But say if you early date and you say, okay, typically when he hides his phone, that means he's cheating.
Dang.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like,
Or when it's always on vibrate.
or it's just sitting there.
Flat down.
What's the reality of it is this? None of that can really indict and shows that they're cheating. Can you overthink and think because you just got out of there? Nah, he looked too suspicious. I got to bounce.
Yeah.
But in fact, it's just.
This is a habit that I've developed, or just because I got a privacy screen don't mean I'm cheating. I don't want nobody in my business. That's it.
You looking at my stuff.
But can you be hurt?
Kids, okay?
But can women be hurt to the point where it's like you got hurt so bad that like you will overthink that situation?
Yeah.
And
Correct.
right out of
Carry it on you.
Women though, it's people.
I'm
in
just people,
general,
yeah.
you know
Let me
what I
not
mean?
just say women.
We look, but that's how we are in general, right? So if you look at just how we are naturally, the way that you respond or the way that you act are going to be from things. So you know what I mean? Like, so an example is if somebody asks you for money, if you got somebody who you done let loan before, you know what I mean? So there's just certain things where you're gonna the reason why
I asked that is because now I've been married for going on 3 years. We've been together for 8. But early in our relationship, there's been times where I did something stupid that she could have left, and there's times where she did stuff that I could have left. If we would have overthought the situation,
she ain't do nothing.
Oh, she did. She did. That I can tell y'all, and y'all would sit around and say, "Yeah, I probably would have." I can tell Zio the situation.
I'll be ready to leave on.
But the thing about it is, if I would have left, then I would have made a terrible decision. And that's what I'm saying. Can you overthink something to cause you to leave something that could have really been something great?
Absolutely.
Because I made mistakes I made mistakes because I was coming from a partying situation, and there's times where I made a mistake. I lied to my wife. I did things. I never cheated. But I lied, and I entertained
your wife
stuff.
Or your girlfriend?
My girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
But there's times where she could have definitely left me, and there's times, like I said, there's times when she was doing stuff that I didn't like. My wife was texting somebody she wasn't supposed to be, and I could have left.
Not over a text message. You know what I mean?
She was entertaining somebody for some weeks.
See how you always defend each
Counsel?
nonsense.
An ex-boyfriend.
What?
Whether it was inappropriate or not,
It's the fact that it was
the
a
fact
text.
that you're
He
running,
should have not had access.
the fact that you're running a conversation for weeks,
People have. I mean, I can understand.
the fact
but
that you
I think
having a
that
running conversation with a person that you ain't supposed to for weeks,
I'm only gonna agree because you said you shouldn't have done it.
I could have left. But if I would have what I'm saying is, so if I would have let my mind say, you know what, nah, that's a red flag. If she gonna text him, then she gonna do something with him. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm the type of person is, you gonna text me for 2 weeks, you give me 2 more weeks, That's all I got to say to that.
What's happening?
But what's happening?
Well,
But I agree with what you're saying, but I'm going to still go with my initial thought as far as the mind over the heart, because so first off, we all know about the power of the brain and just how wonderful and magnificent it is in general. But when you really truly
thing.
take some time, it is. But it was your mind though that when you sat back and thought, like, if you look at everything as a whole, is this worth leaving? You know what I mean? That's what
Worth.
brought you back to
I
it.
think
And
my
the
heart,
reason
my
why
heart played a big
what
part
triggered
in
the
it.
your
forgiveness?
heart will play a
What triggered the forgiveness?
it will,
Me
but your
loving her.
mind though, your mind was the
Well, your
one that
brain.
lets you think clearly and then know how to move smoothly and know how to properly communicate and you know what I mean, and also address it.
I think it was
because
my heart
your heart
that
might have
my heart pushed me. My mom made the decision.
absolutely.
So
So
it's like my heart said no, because this is a good person that you shouldn't leave. Because at the time, what drew me to my wife is that I never met nobody like her. All the girls I was messing with was trash. They was some
like that.
Youngstown. Let me not play Youngstown.
don't
Let me
do
not
that.
say
Right,
that. But they
don't do
was,
that.
y'all know, it was them typical going out chicks that we kicking it with. And I'm like, don't
Hold
nobody.
the hell up.
I'm like, don't nobody want to wife her. But I met my wife. It's like, oh, she's in school. Oh, she goes to church.
They throwing snowballs at you.
I ain't say nothing to nobody. She put you in there.
Beyond me.
You said you go out every weekend.
I don't go out every weekend.
Let me tell you, we
I
know
live
them
in
people.
apartment.
I thought you be
We
at
know them
work.
people, boy.
I do.
We know them people, boy or girl. I ain't gonna characterize it. They in the club every week, drunk as a
It
skunk.
was in the love lounge.
Yeah, in the love lounge in the nine. You know what I'm saying? Being carried out.
Was it West 36? Downtown 36.
Well, it's West 34 now.
36.
Downtown 36.
Was it 34,
It's
36?
West 34 now.
No, honestly though. So I would honestly say the mind over the heart, because when you take the time to truly think, your mind will align with your heart and your mind will be able to tell your heart, you know what I mean, as far as if you're acting, you can act and love and still do what's best for yourself. I mean, and still do what's best for yourself, but you need to have a clear mind to be able to make that decision. A lot of times our heart is what makes us stay in toxic situations. It makes us stay for the kids because we love our kids and we don't want to hurt
Correct.
them.
Correct.
It makes us, you know what I mean? It makes us want to forgive them and keep on giving them chance after chance because you're trying to work on your relationship, or you know what I mean? Like, so, but your mind is the one that tells me, you know what, you need to know your worth. Who are you? What do you deserve? Is this normal behavior? Is it going to stop? That's what you need to get in tune and truly be at peace with your mind to make those decisions so that you can use your love from your heart to do what's best ultimately for you.
I think that people, I got two things. I think number one, I think people don't do enough
Good stuff.
mindset
I ain't
training.
got nothing smart to say. I think I'm about to pass out. So
I don't think people do enough
Welcome back,
mindset
Angel.
and personal growth to train their mind to think in that manner.
Yes.
You went to Oprah's boot
And
camp.
now I am gonna say something. It might be not y'all. I ain't speaking about y'all, but I
It's
think
all right
that
if you are.
no, I just about to say, I think more women, majority of women, would think more with their heart than their mind. Like you
Because
said,
they
that's-
weren't trained to do.
you
You know what I
don't-
mean?
I mean,
They
it
don't work
takes
on
time.
themselves.
and I don't think that people in general, they don't give themselves enough time to train your mind. To tell yourself I'm beautiful, I don't need no man. I don't
We
need
don't
you.
know ourselves. You know what? That was one of the biggest things that I learned in my journey of being single, was when I realized that I was in a relationship halfway being myself because I conformed so much to what was pleasing and what somebody else wanted that I wasn't even being real to me. So it took me, and I always ask, one of the biggest things that I learned, rather, you have to be you first before you can be anything else. So even in a relationship, you know, relationship goals, I'm sure y'all done seen a little podcast videos, books, and everything else like that, but it talks about the importance of being an individual in a relationship. And rather, if it's an individual as yourself before you get in a relationship, but like, we got to do a better job of knowing who we are, what we're going to tolerate, what we can and can't do. I realize for me, as much as I'm all for restoration, second chances, and all of that other stuff, you can't cross me and think I don't want to work through that anymore. I've done my time in doing it. So like, if you cheat and mess up, God bless you. I wish you the best. If I done blocked my blessing or whatever the case may be, I'm at peace with that, because I just can't, there's just certain things that I don't want to go through again. And that's just me personally. Where you know what I mean? But that took me getting to know myself and what I'm willing to put up with. You know, but I'm also big on effective communication. So when things like that happen, making sure that we communicate. I don't know why we all talk about we real, we loyal, and all of this other stuff, but we do an awful job of communicating to our friends, to our family, to our spouse. Like, we don't do a good, as real as we are, and as much, we need to do a better job communicating with each other, because that's somewhere where we struggling. We all real, but why you ain't telling your friend that she get on your nerves and she need to quit posting so much on Facebook? Why aren't we telling your friend, like, listen, sis, you need to stop going out because you're starting to look like a little thought bucket and you need to sit down somewhere? Why aren't we telling our friends, you need to spend more time with your kids instead of chasing this nigga all the time? We're not having these conversations. We ain't telling our mamas, Mom, you need to quit asking me for handouts all the time because it's not my job to take care of you. Like, we gotta stop all of that. Like, we truly need to do a better job of just being real with ourselves and then communicating that to the people that we love.
I feel that.
Angel coming back with a vengeance, boy. I tell you, what you been doing?
Good stuff.
You been doing a lot of meditating.
I like it.
I do, though.
Yeah?
Honestly.
What you be doing?
You gotta do like self-reflection. Shut up.
What she say?
I do my self-reflection.
Hey, so I
This
meditate while I
one
be
dude
asleep.
was telling me about the importance of the 4 quarters of your day, but like, he ain't nobody of importance. But that part was like,
What's his
really
name?
good.
Dang.
What's his
I don't
name?
even remember. Dang, I think it was like
Bartholomew.
Dewan.
Trishawn.
Trishawn.
You shouldn't have told him.
That's some good shade they throwing though.
Yeah.
They giving me
It
credit
is.
at the same
no,
time.
but
you know?
seriously though, because when you sit back and you look at a lot of your different situations and you just look at who you are, and even like for me, when I had to check myself was when I realized the stuff that I was complaining about. Like, girl, fix it. You complaining about this with your sister, your mama, your friend, your whatever. What have you done to fix it?
Nothing.
Not a goddamn
So a lot of
thing.
times when you sit back and you complain and you do nothing but push people further and further
Yup.
away from you.
Absolutely.
Because you're not doing the job.
Nope.
Number one, you're not doing the. I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, and a lot of times we end up in situations in which we establish boundaries in the beginning, but then we bent our own rules and we bent our own standards and allowed these people to cross these boundaries. So now we sitting here arguing with these jokers 3, 4, 5 months down the road, not realizing
Years.
that we played a major role in how they're now treating us because we allowed them to cross the boundaries that we set from jump.
I'll tell you this. I heard, Pastor Darius, I can't think of his last name to give him.
Yeah.
I want to give him props on this statement. He said it's okay for you to change relationships and involvements based on how you grow. I think that we get too committed on something that we committed when we was something else.
Yeah.
Like, we committed to a relationship based on the person that we used to be.
Oh, absolutely.
So when we grow out of that person, you got to be okay to grow out of that relationship or that
Ooh,
commitment.
that's deep.
Yeah.
So it's like you commit to a person back when you was
Yeah.
weak-minded.
When you was that person.
But when you're
Yes.
not weak-minded, you got to
Yeah.
look back and say, now I committed to you when I wasn't me.
Yeah.
Now I'm me. It's okay for y'all to say, okay, that commitment has expired.
So
because I'm a new
It's-
person.
it's-
We
it's
talked
growing.
we talked on the episode about standard operating procedures, right? And we have it in our business, but we don't. Our lives are like business, and we should treat it as such every single day. So when we're talking about relationships, friendships, whatever the case may be, we should have SOPs for our daily lifestyle.
Yep.
So when someone comes into our life, it's important that we establish these and share these SOPs, these standard operating procedures that we have for our lives. So if we're in a relationship, marriage, doesn't matter what it is, I think it's extremely important that we should be sitting down at minimum, if we all claim that we're super busy, at minimum twice a month to actually sit down and see where we are and where we stand in our relationship. This is where we said we would be at. We're here. Okay. And if we're not where we said we're going to be at, what are we doing wrong? In my opinion, you should be sitting down at least once a week with your significant other. And y'all should be talking about what's going on in our relationship, what's going on with finances, with the home, with the kids, if you got kids. No matter, like, whatever y'all list is, whatever y'all got going on, you should be sitting down once a week going over these things, right? Now, if you're that busy, at least sit down at least just twice a month and go over these SOPs, because if they need to be altered and changed, do so. But if you're not tending to your relationship like you tend to your friend groups, going out, your business, and all these other things, then what do you think is going to fail first in your life? Your relationship, the thing that's closest to you that you don't tend to.
See, That's all true for sure. I feel like sometimes though that
Where's the butt? You
I was
better
about
put
to
a
say,
yeah. You better put a
I was
butt
about
in
to
there.
say,
For the butt.
I was thinking
The
about
bite.
something. No, because I totally agree, but I feel like sometimes those things, like that's like the end, in a
What's the
sense.
end?
So like, what about that person who's not even in that relationship just yet? You know what I'm saying? Because some people, like all of those things that you said, for sure, in my brain, they are people who have been in a relationship and they know they're just going to be together, and maybe they agree that they're not going to get married.
Why you not doing it from jump though?
Because if I decide that I'm going to be in a relationship and I'm really just getting to this point where I'm getting to know somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not combining my finances. We're not
You
sitting
don't-
down
no,
and we're not
that's not
talking.
what I'm. No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying you saying to have a meeting regardless. Just
But I also said whatever your list looks
whatever
like.
your list is, right?
Everybody's
gotta
list is
talk.
not going to
But
look
I'm
the
s-
same.
right.
So whatever your list is,
you
that's
ain't-
what y'all should be talking. If y'all don't combine finances, then y'all don't talk about it.
Well, I'm saying,
Just our
but
goals.
what about those people who have not hit that point yet?
As far as so I'm saying when I say standard operating procedures, right? As a single woman right now,
Right.
you should have them
For myself,
for yourself.
Correct.
So anybody that comes along that wants to come into your world, the first thing that you should do is review your SOPs. Does this person even fit into my life with where I am
That's the
now
point.
and where I'm going? And
we
if
even
they
share
do
the
not,
same values?
you need to
Right.
go. Yeah. What
That's
are
the
your
bare
necessity.
Right.
The bare
I
That's
talked to
a-
y'all before about personal mission statements.
Do we share the
Vision
same
statements.
Right.
Like someone has to be in alignment with these things if they're coming into your life. And it's our fault if we allow intruders in that should not be there.
Yeah.
And we're
That's
entertaining these people who don't belong in our lives. And then we getting angry and we end up in situations in which
That-
we're pointing fingers and we shouldn't be. So you as a
That's
single
right.
woman
Right.
should have your values, your SOPs.
Right.
So then when you two come together, then y'all discuss both of these things.
Right. That's the part I just wanted to be said, because it's like, that's all fine and dandy, but then when you sitting there and you by yourself and you like, man, that sounds so good. That sounds so great. So then you on your first date and you like, so what's your SOP? And then it's too advanced.
You-
You know
no,
what I'm
you
saying?
ain't gotta- you ain't
So
gotta-
then it's
no.
let's say
No.
like, that's point, that's deep.
No,
you
no.
know, so let's start off with A. Let's get at A.
It's a way of figuring that stuff out without saying an SO, because not everybody
No, I
know what an
know,
SOP.
I know what I'm saying, but I'm saying,
but
like,
it's easy
that's
to sit
D.
there. It's easy
That's
to,
D. That's part D.
But it's easy to sit there and sit across from someone and be like, "Hey, listen, I'm talking to you. Hey, what are your? Do you have any core values? Do
Goals,
you have
you
anything
know,
that you
right.
live
I
by?
think
Do you
that-
have any mantras?
Right.
That conversation is not held. That needs to be had, deep or not. I think that off the first date, you ain't got to
Yes.
ask it,
For
but I
sure.
think
I
there's
do.
some way it needs
You-
to be churned out of
yes,
there.
100%.
And the question might only be, and as simple and cliche as this is, you can learn a lot by just asking, "What is your goals?"
Yeah.
You can learn a lot from a person by saying, "What is your goals?"
Mm-hmm.
And you can see
I can't
if it's a cliche like, "Oh, I just want to make this much
Say
money."
the
But if a
sugar
person
honey
say,
iced tea word.
Shit.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh.
I can't stand when a guy and I say, "What are your goals?" and they say, "I mean, shit." I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. And you be sitting there like, "What you mean? I mean what?"
And at that point, is you get your free meal,
I
and
think
then
that-
you
And it's
stop
a free
messing
meal.
with
in
people.
today's
And then that's when you
society,
text somebody
in
else.
20
No, for real.
This joker and this texting somebody else.
I don't
Somebody
blame her on
else.
that one.
I will say that in 2022, there's a lot of surface people, men and women, where if you ask a semi-deep question or deep question, they like,
Ew,
man, you
You're
asking
smart.
you asking a lot of questions.
this is only the first day.
I mean, yeah, you
But see,
way too deep. Like I don't know,
it's
or
fine.
ask me that later.
if I was ever back in that world, I'm asking, "What's your credit score?"
Me too.
Mine is
Listen.
trash. So, no.
correct. Listen, but see, that's the reason why I make sure that, like, for me, because I know and am still learning who I am, I don't subject myself. Like, I make myself not go into that fantasy world as a woman.
Yeah.
Because I know we're super quick to say, "Oh, well, you know, he has this, he has this,
Yeah,
he has
forget
this,"
all
and
that.
then you instantly go into the fantasy world.
Let me ask you this question, Kanisha. What are your values?
My values.
Yes,
Man, we asked me this question already. We asked this already.
that's what's up. Say it again.
My values.
Yes. What are your SOPs? What are your values? Let's hear them.
Okay. Now, when you say this, right, are you talking about things that I live by?
We can start there. Yes, your SOP, your standard operating procedures, like in your life. Like, what do you go by? How do you operate on a day-to-day basis? What does your life look like? What would it look like to somebody sitting across from you?
Oh, well, you would see someone who is very busy.
What does that mean? Because everybody say busy.
Between work, so you would see a hierarchy of my son working and making sure that different things in my household are put together, my family. Mm-hmm. That's what you would see. Other than that,
what does that look like?
My family?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna ask you. These are rebuttals. What does that look like? Because if I'm serious about you, like if you're sitting, even if you're like, I'm not looking for nothing serious, but just talking, for me, it's like, all right, well, even if I want to be around you, I need to know I ain't wasting my time around somebody that's just like, ugh. So I'll ask, what does that look like? Because that to me is still surface, and it's very broad. So I could now here's what will happen. What will happen is this.
Values.
This is what will happen. I'll place you in a category in which is like, okay, if she want to stay surface, then I know what category I'm gonna place her in, and this is how I treat her.
Well, core values always for me is going to be God, family, my job. Because family, that's including my son. Mm-hmm. Okay. And pretty much, and then my finances. Other than those are the things that I have right now.
How do you handle finances?
How do I handle finances? I go to work and then I pay my bills.
Are you good with money?
Am I good with money?
Yes.
I would say out of 10, I'll say a 5.
12.
I'm about 5 or 6. I'll say that. I'll be honest about that.
Okay.
That's good.
I'll be a 5 or 6 because I'm still learning, especially with going from someone that didn't work and didn't handle the money to going to some girl. That's a whole story. We got to sit down and talk about it. To going to someone who is able to do that.
Give yourself a little bit more.
I'm not going to give myself in a little bit more because
That's why I
no, we getting somewhere though.
Awesome. 6 or 7.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
7,
go
8.
go ahead. Go stay.
the reason why I'm gonna be honest about it is because I know that there's things that I can do better in, and then I'm climbing myself out of. I can't say and profess, oh, I'm a 9 or a 10 in my finances, and I'm still digging my way out of debt. You know what I'm saying?
So there's plenty of people that don't even acknowledge that they need to learn.
Yeah.
Don't
no.
take the time.
See, no, I'm still learning.
Or is it? Did you make mistakes? Like what? Like, cause how old are you?
Oh, marriage. That marriage put me in debt.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
How did you allow yourself to get to that point?
Listen, first of all,
why are you so far behind the 8 ball?
If you come at me one more time in the wrong way, you gonna get punched right in the face.
I'm saying, no. What if a guy? I'm saying, I'm
okay. So you playing devil advocate? Okay, because as DeAndre, you still get hit right in the face. Okay.
Let me tell you why though, right? Because what if you're sitting across from a guy that's gonna ask you these questions because he's thinking because of things that he dealt with previously. Okay. So now he's like, because he's thinking, oh, red flag. Sorry, okay, I don't know if I really want to help this lady out. I don't know if I really want to do it. She's a great person. She's a great this, but then now I'm hearing all these. So at least let me get reasons to why you're there, because maybe the reason can actually justify why you're there. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm playing devil's advocate.
Let me answer, so then the listeners can get the right answer, because I almost got hostile. So I got married very young.
Okay.
And because I got married very young, I went from pretty much leaving home where my mom and my dad took care of my finances. Not saying they didn't teach me, because they did, but I had not developed the discipline to be consistent. So once I got out of the house, I did what I thought was good, but wasn't disciplined. And then trying to confine 2 people who are undisciplined with their finances is like trying to saw down a tree with a dull saw. And I just wasn't
you're in
it.
the stage basically of unlearning to relearn.
Correct.
And I don't want to interrupt, even though I already did, but I feel like that right there is a gem in itself, because I just gotta sit down and lose my train of thought and forget it. So but that's important though, because you know what I mean? Like, granted, you came from a household where you even were taught simple things. We forget the fact that there are so many people who come from a household where they weren't taught, and if they were taught, what they saw was so piss poor. You know what I mean? We grew up, I grew up seeing struggle. I grew up seeing not enough food, behind on bills. You know what I mean?
We can't seeing struggle.
being in the struggle.
It's thinking struggle is okay.
That's what I mean.
That is.
Though you grow
It's
up
a
and you
mindset.
see that,
Yeah.
and you all right with it.
I
You stay on the
used to
south
love
side
oodles and
because
noodles
you
for
grow
dinner.
up thinking. No, I'm joking.
Wait a minute, because I live on the south side.
My mom and Jess stay on the south side.
But
Hold on.
listen,
But no,
but I got a
seriously
brick
though,
house
but
and 3
that's-
bedrooms, so
That is super real because we forget that, and all they keep doing is repeating itself. We learn, oh, you 18, go down to the welfare office and get you some
Yeah.
food
Food
stamps
stamps.
and medical. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we are taught. That's what we learn. Or like
Anybody
for
selling
me, it's the no, I wish. But for me, it was we didn't get the food stamps or medical. We was poor, and then you just like figure it out. You know what I
Shoot.
mean? So you gotta teach yourselves. And so I'm very into, like, even with my son to this day, you know, he got them little green light cards. Let me not say that twice, unless you're about to sponsor me or something. But anyway, like, you know, and I teach him the importance of giving, of saving, and then being able to spend. Most importantly, understand that you're gonna pay yourself before you do
I wish
anything
we had more
else.
time tonight because that's a whole podcast.
shoot. What about the
talk about
parents
that.
who open up accounts in their kids'
Man,
names?
kids before they 18,
We gonna have
they
a
got
whole.
electric
We gonna have an
bill.
episode on that. We gonna have an episode on
Because I
that.
could actually.
Because
I wanted to ask
finances,
some
they need to
questions.
bring that back into the schools.
to-
No,
Finances.
forget that in the
Yeah.
schools. That need to be taught at home.
Ain't
We
enough
need
time.
to talk
And
about,
at
we
home.
talk
It
about
does.
everybody want to talk about, oh, I'm leaving my kid generational wealth. Where, honey?
Yeah.
Where are you leaving your kid generational
The
wealth?
spinners that's on the tires on in the car
right,
that's outside.
that's what you leaving
This
them.
generational
the
wealth.
Gucci belt.
We
that
getting
they,
the
you know what I mean? That's
and
what we
those
leaving
and
our
those
kids.
sneakers.
I pay life insurance.
And because listen,
Listen.
That's a new
seriously
hustle.
though,
Listen,
Okay, so listen.
If
because a lot of
I
people don't got
pass,
that, but
if
you
I was
got
to
your
pass
baby a
today,
Gucci belt.
if I was to pass today, my son would be set. That's what I know.
But it shouldn't take that though.
I know he's set right now though. But
yeah,
I'm saying,
yeah.
but if he did, he would
So-
be set. What did you say, smart?
Ooh, Nick,
I
think
said-
transparency
I
so
said
bad.
mine won't. He'll bury me. She had some fun for a couple years. You gonna have to flip that a couple times to be set.
Jesus Christ!
So listen. All right. So to round that up. So I wasn't attacking you, right?
I'm glad you
But
wasn't.
I was giving you.
I
I was giving you a
sure.
snapshot of maybe somebody that could sit across from you and literally be like, "Yeah, let me dive into this." I think we need to do a better job at communicating effectively up front and being extremely transparent versus giving such vague answers to questions. Because if I'm being extremely real up front and communicating with you up front, I'm giving you the autonomy to walk away from me.
How do
And I
people
don't-
feel
and I
when
don't
say
think-
I don't
that's-
do
And
good
I don't.
texting?
You said what?
If I say I'm not good with the phone,
But then you don't
Phones
really
ain't
want to
my
be with nobody, Joe. You want to
Yeah.
be single.
You have
Yeah,
to.
because
in this day and age, you
that's
have to be.
true.
When you turn off your
That's
notifications, ignore your text messages
Yeah.
and your phone calls, you don't want to be with nobody.
You do not.
No, in this day and age,
You just want to be with yourself.
that might
I had a buddy that thought that was okay.
We're gonna get smoke signals or
Joker's gonna
something
tell
for you.
me he went to a family reunion. He turned his phone off for 3 days. No, this is a true story. And if he listens, he know what I'm talking about. No,
But
let me
see-
take it back. He didn't turn his phone off. He didn't text his old lady. And I said, "Well, why you text?" He said, "I'm with my family. I text her when
I can't
I'll
stand
collect
that.
that."
I
He
ain't
was-
gonna lie.
he was fake.
But see, then, do you get mad if old boys show up at your house
Oh,
and wanting to
don't do
spend
pop-ups.
time with you? No, or he show up at your
We don't do
job.
pop-ups.
Please don't ever do
No
that.
pop-ups.
I know,
Yes,
we
we
don't.
get mad.
But you gonna get. I'm just saying.
unless
you
you,
get popped.
pay for this more.
I got a friend
That's
who
such an
I got a
invasion of
friend who
privacy
says
to
I
me.
turn off all my notifications and I don't check nothing. But when I do see that you text or call, I acknowledge it in my head.
Sorry.
This
The
one
guy
right
just
here.
about to
You
say
got one
that
time.
must be.
She says I acknowledge it in my head.
She be like, I text
And
back
that's-
in my mind.
Yeah, so that's good enough. So
For the record, that diagnosis will be in the DSM within the next up and coming years.
No, it
While
ain't.
these
y'all
people
trying
don't
to
know what
come
that
for me.
is.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a diagnostic statistical manual.
Absolutely.
It's a manual
manual
full
of
of
all of the
diagnostics.
diagnosis
I'm a black
issues.
man. I
What
don't
can I
understand
say?
this.
This: Are you honest that you are
I want
you?
to trigger Angel.
If that's where you are, right?
No, it's
Are you
something I've been
honest
trying to
with?
work on.
Okay, I was about to say. 'Cause
Angel's lying.
Are you
Yes, she
actually?
is.
Are
She
you
doing it on
actually
purpose.
honest with
Actually,
yourself
I
to
take back
say?
Something that she been working
Actually, I take
on.
it back. No,
When?
she ain't.
Are
I
you-
text her. She took like 3 days to call me back.
At least you got a call back.
Wait a minute.
Sayo had to call
We're not
me.
gonna talk about that because I texted.
disgusting.
I texted and don't get no text back. Only person. Well, you text me back. You text me back.
You didn't text me.
Hey, let me be honest with you.
I did
got
not
about, I got
text
about
you.
80 text messages.
That'd be me.
I'm terrible.
I get
I
so
You see-
overwhelmed.
you
see. I don't have
As
anything
you
in my
people see,
messages.
it's not just you guys that are trash with communication. It's also
Well, I said
blended views
we gotta
unfiltered.
work on
But
it.
as
minus
long
me.
as you honest with
Minus
yourself
me.
to say, first
Sayo
of all, that you
communicates
need to,
effectively.
that you
Yes.
need,
I
that you
communicate.
gonna work on it, and actually working on it,
Sayo-
and that you know that
Sayo
it's gonna be
communicates
something
Let's
that's
see
gonna
how bad my
stop you
communication is.
from being in a
When I don't
relationship.
communicate, it's a good thing.
Right?
What?
I told Dre one time. He said, "Well, why didn't you text back in the group chat?" I said, "If I don't text back, that means I'll be there.
He did say that.
If I text back, that means I won't be there."
That's
makes
true.
no
No,
sense.
it do, because if he's texting back, he's saying why he can't come.
If I'm expected to be here on Mondays at a certain time, then I don't even need you to remind me. I know I'm supposed to be here. So I don't need to text you back and say I'm gonna be there.
I don't know where my life's gonna be at
as
that time. So I
as a
still
man,
think
if I said I'm gonna be somewhere, I'm gonna be somewhere.
come, I could come.
Angel be at the lake club poolside.
I love it there so bad.
Anyways,
late
we about to get up out of here,
I'm
man.
just saying.
What's y'all takeaways? What's your takeaway, Sio?
You ain't asked me the question about the ones.
And I'm not.
Why
Sio,
you
what's your
ain't asked me?
takeaway?
I had something to say.
I have
said a lot.
effective
You did really good
communication.
this episode. You did. Give me.
Yes, she did. She was dropping gems.
Yeah.
She spearheaded it.
Yeah.
You was listening to Joel Osteen.
I love him actually. Even though he had them issues with the church, I still forgave him. I would do the same thing. Right? They be
Take
just
us out.
Bodies in the
Take us out.
forget the
same way.
takeaways.
No,
Take
for
us
real,
out of here.
because just because it's my house and y'all need to work on that, I mean, I gotta let y'all all in. Shoot, it's already me and my kids. I don't know if it's enough for all y'all.
What are you even talking about?
When
now?
they was mad at him when he ain't let the people in the church and stuff.
COVID. It was during COVID.
They was so mad.
it was like a-
no,
It was
a
but
flood. It was a flood.
Oh,
They
that's
was
what it
mad.
was.
Yeah, the hurricane. Yeah.
Yeah, it was mad when housing all them people. Like, that's what's wrong with y'all. Y'all always want some handouts. Y'all ain't come to this church. Ain't nobody getting no tithes and offerings or participating in
Do
this
y'all got
stuff.
any takeaways
Shoot,
before this joke gets
Joel, I
going? You
feel
got
for you.
anything?
You are. They always
Communicate
try to take
up
advantage
front.
of us.
Communicate more and communicate often.
Yep, first lady.
No. Listen.
I got one. Can I give a takeaway?
Joel,
Go
I
ahead.
support you.
They
The
don't be
future is
doing
women.
that. Listen, whatever. It's just a shirt woven and printed on it. Okay, that's it. But don't nobody know what the future is unless you're playing for it.
It's
The
female,
future is
according
Jesus
to
is
your
coming, so
shirt.
be ready for his return.
I cannot. My takeaways are communicate, but know yourself. Don't put yourself in a situation that you know you can't handle. And let's see.
Put that as a sound.
Yeah, just be cool. Just know yourself. That's what I say.
Know yourself.
Know thyself. Know thyself and where you at in your own headspace and in your own heart.
Amen.
I know Sio's takeaway need to be
Let them grow.
Let them grow.
stop thinking with her heart.
Man, don't let them grow too much.
Friend, I got a guy for you.
That's what your
Listen,
back.
please.
sometimes your mind
That's what your back.
can give the wrong influence to your heart, and vice versa. It can, and
No,
it
it
can.
can't. No, I'm joking. My bad.
Yes, it can
Stop
cause
doing
you
that
to
with
make
your jaw.
the wrong decisions sometimes.
Ain't about this.
I know.
I'm listening.
We getting about it.
Wait, what?
wrong
Do you
we
see what
getting
she
up outta here.
doing? Did you
Listen,
see that jaw
communicate
control?
effectively, please.
Look at the jaw
and
control.
let's.
Why
What
y'all
in the
asking
world
us?
Look at that jaw control.
are you doing?
Is she cold?
That's her sad face.
I was trying
Oh,
to
take it out. Take it out.
No, you take it down. Y'all ain't asking my takeaway.
What's your takeaway?
Angel, you dropped the gems.
My takeaway is,
Come on now.
you know what?
Mari.
It is important that
Yes.
we take the time to truly just analyze
Yes.
people's different perspectives because, you know what I mean? What we heard and experienced
All right,
today
wrap it up. Too long.
was
God.
different.
Oh,
Like that.
Let's go.
And because of it, it will help us understand why people move the way they do. So as much as we need to be ourselves, we need to understand, because sometimes it might be you just don't know no better. So let me help you understand you to be better, because you might be all right. You just need
And
a
if
little
they don't want to be
and
better,
if they don't want to be better,
keep it moving.
shoot fly. Oh, pick the cotton.
Oh, you ain't hit it right. She ain't hit it right. Take it
She
out.
ain't hit
Do it.
you. I
Oh, pick that guy. Nah, take us out. Take us out. They gonna kill us for this one. They gonna kill us for this one.
can't. Oh,
I'm actually
That's
not
what they
even,
need to do.
I'm not even full black.
right, you got no
black.
business even singing
Right, your
that.
ancestors didn't even pick
You ain't
no
even
cotton.
allowed to say the N word right
disrespectful.
now.
my
pick
God.
rice.
Barely let you.
You know what?
Rice?
Take
No,
us out.
papaya.
Let's
Red
learn to
beans or
communicate
papayas.
effectively with everyone, family, friends, significant others.
Yes.
And remember, when emotions are high, intelligence is low. Have y'all ever heard that?
What?
Yes.
When
that's
emotions are high, intelligence is low.
48 hours.
When they go how?
No.
No, it's when they go.
No.
Wait,
Oh, yeah, I
Nick,
forgot.
you know what
That
you
is
ain't
not
said
it.
all day?
What?
A wise
Wise
man
man
once
once
said.
I soon realized I was that wise man.
That was good.
You've been going,
Cannot.
Angel. Take us out.
She's cracking up. She's cracking up.
Hey, play the moments, positive memories,
stroke out over
stop
there.
the pain, and keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Bye.
See y'all.
If I had one wish, y'all would follow us, like and subscribe to our channel.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered, starring Big Mama.
AKA the biggest and the realest and the trillest.
We know y'all like what y'all be hearing on this joint. So go ahead and like, follow, and do a big, huge. If you're watching, hit the subscribe button down there. If you're listening to us, find the subscribe and download button somewhere on this platform and hit that button. That way you can be well informed when we drop something new, whether it be social media, whether it be on here. This could be Apple, unless you're an Android user like myself. It may be on Android phones, right? Spotify. Either way, follow us. Like our pages on social media. Snapchat's coming soon. YouTube is up and live. We got them videos uploaded. Check our TikTok out. We got the Hershey Kisses in live effect on TikTok. These two acting a fool. Okay, so we appreciate y'all tuning in. Kanisha didn't say nothing. Kanisha, what you got for us?
Nothing. Tune in.
Great. Tune in. Play the moments, positive memories, stop the pain, keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Bye.
One fish.